Welcome, dear students. The current session focuses on vigor and willingness to venture during the Renaissance period and the modern English period. As far as the objective of the session is concerned, I hope that by the end of this session, you would know what kind of vigor and willingness was working behind the development of modern English. Well, my dear students, English during the Renaissance period had particular features, at least as we see it in the books, as we find the evidence in literature and other texts. It was quite plastic. What I mean by that is it was quite, flexible. They could mold it, they could give it a shape or a form that they wanted to give it. In fact, as compared to the present times, the people of the Renaissance times felt freer to use language the way they wanted to use it. They would use it with more freedom, they would use it with, more flexibility, the way they would think it suited what they wanted to say. Let us take the example of, here, the words, only the basic element of language. These words, they were not always, distributed into rigid categories. They were rather very, very flexible. A noun, a verb, an adjective, an adverb. These parts of speech, these categories were not fixed as such, like we have today. So, at that time, a noun could be used as an adjective or as an adverb. A verb could be used as a noun, etc. In fact, any part of speech could replace almost any other part of speech as per the will of the user. Here, my dear students, on the screen, you would see an example that is taken from Shakespeare. It is marked in red color. As you notice, Shakespeare wrote, "Strangered with an oath." Look at the word that is presented in bold in red color, strangered. Well, we have the word stranger that is used as a noun. We do not use it as a verb. But by adding D to that, Shakespeare has made it a verb. Now, actually, my dear students, what was happening? Actually, instead of fitting his thought into the regular, standardized grammatical structures prevalent during those times, what Shakespeare did was he molded, gave shape and form to the language to suit his needs and to express what he actually wanted to express. And I think this goes with the spirit of the age. Actually, in keeping with the spirit of the age, the characteristics of the language reflect the characteristics of the times. It was an age with the characteristics of, youth, of vigor, of keenness, of willingness to venture, to explore, to discover, to reach up to anything and, to make experiments. And the result was, that language also was influenced in the same way. We find the same characteristics reflecting in the language of the times. In fact, my dear students, the spirit that animated Hawkins and Drake, it was not foreign to the language of, their times. The spirit that made the people of these times, to do things that were strange, to do things that had not been done before. This is reflected in the Renaissance language as well. Overall, my dear students, I would say the language of the times reflects the vigor and the willingness to venture. And the main characteristics of the language of the times included vigor, enthusiasm, willingness, and desire to venture with all the keenness.